you do the work. You work on your mindset. But the reality is, if the mindset work alone would work as effectively as promised, you probably would have been a little bit further along in your journey, in your self-development journey, in your business journey than you already are. But I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes it feels like something is missing. Because we talk about mindset a lot. We talk about mindset in performance coaching and business trainings. Mindset is a powerful tool, and mindset indeed is the foundation of your success as an entrepreneur. But let's face the reality. You listen to podcasts, you read the books, you listen to audiobooks. And the traditional mindset work, as we know it, it relies on very much traditional psychology. And there's nothing wrong with it like traditional psychology. And the truth is, if you want to be successful at your business, in your business, no matter what you sell, services, products, whatever. I work with a lot of service-based entrepreneurs, and service-based entrepreneurs work with people. People are psychological beings. But people are not just psychological beings. People are not just biological and psychological beings. People are also spiritual beings. And this is a really big problem with traditional psychological approach. And the traditional psychological approach is like a three-leg chair. It relies on behavior. It's called behavioral science. The whole therapy, at least in the United States, in the Western world, based on behavior-based therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy, pretty much like all standardized versions of therapy at some level rely on behavior. Another leg of psychology is emotions, what you feel and or how you feel. And again, we see in therapy, especially in acceptance and commitment therapy, we work a lot with emotions. We tell that we need to process our emotions, and it's 100% true. Nothing is wrong with the behavior, nothing wrong with the emotion. Another leg of traditional psychology is a thought, is cognition, cognitive component. And this is pretty much the modern psychology, and this is how a lot of therapies are actually built on the modern psychology, and this is how the mindset works, how we approach mindset work through our emotions, our behaviors, and our thoughts, what we think. The very key component that we're missing right now in this space when we talk about mindset, when we talk about getting to know us, getting to know our audience, is the component of who we truly are at the core. Because who we truly are, and is not a behavior or just a behavior. It is not just our thoughts, and it's not our emotions. It's a little bit deeper than that. And this is why spiritual psychology started to develop, and actually we're seeing a rise in popularity in spiritual psychology. And again, this is highly debated topic in scientific circles and is a part of existential psychology. I'm not going to bore you with like scientific traditional terms, because listen, I am a former clinical psychologist. I was trained as a clinical psychologist with a specialty in talk therapy, in special education, and personal development or human development. And I work a lot in clinical settings, in healthcare settings, and I run private practice. And this is the model that I learned in traditional classical settings. But what was really missing for me was always like, okay, we go science-based, we go behavior, emotions, and cognitive and thoughts. But spiritual was something taboo. It was something forbidden. But let me tell you something. Even in academia, and by the way, I got my degree in Moscow, Russia. All of my professors, or majority of my professors, were very much academia, old school psychology professors. They were really big in behavioral science. And also, a lot of my professors, strictly off the record, would refer to spirituality in some sort, in some shape or form. They would always, at the end of the lecture, in between the lectures, pretty much all of them say, hey, but there's something more. There's a spiritual component. There's something that we're missing of who we truly are. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk to you about spiritual psychology. And I'm not going to talk about as academic from an academia standpoint. I want to talk to you about spiritual psychology when it comes to your mindset, when it comes to your business, when it comes to practical application, how you can start applying this to your business right now. If you are in business, you're working with human beings. Regardless if you're building systems and automation and help businesses run smoother, you're working with business owners, you're working with humans. Or if you selling a product, even if you are in a product-based business, you still selling to humans. Spiritual psychology addresses the nucleus of human being is who they are. That's the essential point, who they truly are. This is why also in my work, when I work with my clients, when we are dealt with the mindset blocks, meaning like they act in a certain way, they believe certain things that are not true, or in their experience certain emotions on a deeper level, when people cannot break through the wall, through the plateau, and it's not because of their mindset, because their mindset is fine. They're ready for their next level. They've done the work. They hire a coach. They master the skill set, but they forget or they never remember of who they really are, because you don't get what you want, you don't get what you believe, you don't get how you feel, you believe, you will manifest and receive who you truly are, who you truly are at the nucleus level. This is why it is important to combine those, like, yes, psychology, yes, strategies, yes, marketing approaches that actually connects with people. But if you forget of who they are, then traditional approaches such as, like, for example, identity marketing. Identity marketing, it is based on psychology approach, but also when you are incorporating this psychology, like spiritual psychology component, when you are, like, first of all, when you truly understand who you are, when you truly understand who you are, or who do you want to become, who do you want to be, that the next level of elevation of your identity, of your nucleus, right? And this is kind of reverse the mechanism. Who do I want to become? Like, I want to become that entrepreneur, that business owner who breaks through, like, let's say I want to make $1 million in my business. I want to break to the next level. So, and now when we arrive to that nucleus of who we really are, then we can reverse engineer our feelings, how we're going to feel. How we're going to feel about it, what feelings, your next level, your $1 million identity, $1 million entrepreneur, what they feel right now, what they think right now, how they think about their marketing, and how they react. Because we all heard this formula, be, do, have. And this is absolutely spiritual because it starts with this core nucleus component. Now, I promise you that I want to give you some very strategic steps. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking for a holistic strategic recalibration in your business, if you are at the spot where you would like to realign your business, with your call, with your alignment. Understand what you need to change right now to align your business with your desires, with your vision, and identify next steps that you need to take right now. I invite you to 90-minute VIP recalibration session when we combine the spiritual psychology and proving tactics and strategies that specifically would work and align with you and with your business model. And it's one-on-one support, and it's a 90-minute session plus 30-day of integration of the strategy, of the direction that we discuss in our session through DM conversations or Boxer or email, whatever format is convenient for you, so you can take aligned action in your business, so you can build, grow, and scale your business in alignment and start building a business that finally feels like you and support your life and your desires. The link is in the description for this episode. If you have questions, if you would like to learn more about the offer in details, you can always send me a DM. Click the link below. You will get the link to my calendar where you can schedule a session with me immediately. Again, it's 90-minute session plus 30-day of integration support through DM conversation, Boxer, or email. Back to the episode, how to implement it in your business. Like the first step that you want to implement in your business right now is actually reconciling with your core. Like, what is your spiritual belief? It's not necessarily always religion. It can be religious. It can be not religious, but understanding that there is a higher power than you are. And because for me, that was the core of my existence, because if I didn't have that connection with the Creator, with God, I would have never immigrated to another country without work visa, without enough money to actually sustain me for a long period of time, without connection, without clear path how to move forward. I would have absolutely failed. But that spiritual lifeline from the Creator that helped me to see the identity that I needed to adapt and who do I needed to become, my next level of elevation. And actually in Kabbalah, there's an exercise. You can actually access the tzaddik. Tzaddik means the righteous the righteous person, the tzaddik within. To translate it in the more traditional terms, it simply means it is your highest level of self, the highest level of identity, who you truly are. When you receive that goal, when you're walking in that calling, when you receive every desire that you want, you can actually sit in a prayer and ask the Creator, you can ask God, reveal me the highest level of myself, of who do you want me to become. And you connect with that highest level. The time that we have right now on earth only exists because we are in this physical earth. For God that is outside of the planet Earth, the time doesn't exist. Past, present, and the future, it's all one. It's all one snapshot. And on Earth, we actually see the manifestation of one of the snapshots, right? Like once you said, then it's already the past. So it's really actually hard to catch the very now snapshot of your reality. But for God, for the Creator, everything exists. Past, future, and present all exist at the same time. And God, this is why spiritual psychology is so powerful, this is when you can reconnect with that snapshot of yourself, of your elevated self, who you want to become. Because if you have, and by the way, if you're thinking about that, the strategy that you're applying right now may or may not be fully aligned, or maybe you want to amplify the strategy, I develop a very quick assessment, marketer archetypes. So it is actually on my playlist, so you can watch the playlist, but also you can get the assessment for marketer archetypes here. And do me a solid, take the assessment and send me a DM. Let me know what you got. And also, it is a pilot assessment. Listen, it is a pilot assessment. I'm collecting information from my users. Let me know if the questions were clear enough, and let me know how you feel about your results. Because again, I'm a former clinical psychologist, and I am approaching this assessment from a very scientific standpoint. So it is still in beta, so I'm still testing, I'm still gathering the information, so your feedback very much appreciated. Back to the video. If you have the mission, if you have the desire in your heart, this is for a really good reason. And a lot of entrepreneurs have really big vision, very big desires, because they have very big assignment from God. But you can ask God, you can ask the Creator, who do you want me to be? And you can ask that elevated version of yourself, what should I do? Because that elevated version of yourself already knows what you do. It already knows the answers. They already know what you went through. They already know the outcome. And this is the source of your confidence. This is the source of your comfort. And you can literally pray and meditate on that elevated version of yourself, and really listen to, with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your body, how it feels inside of you on a deeper level. What is the next step? This is the connection with your intuition. And this is very, very powerful exercise. Like whenever I have imposter syndrome, I really ask God, reveal the highest level of myself. Who do you want me to be? Reveal the tzaddik within. Reveal the tzaddik within. Who do I need to become? Who I am really. What is that next level of identity? Now, you can use the traditional approaches, like you can use the box breathing exercises, you can use seated meditation, you can use guided meditation. But for me, the very simple core strategy and mechanism is actually talking to the Creator as I'm talking to a friend. Like really in a simple term, when I express my desire, my feeling, my pain, and what I'm going through right now. And this is when you drop into that next level of identity, and you can actually discern what strategy is aligned with the business model that your elevated self already has. Like what is aligned with you, because in entrepreneurship, we often attracted to someone else's definition of success. We see a successful entrepreneur, we see the good marketing, we see the good messaging, and we're attracted to it because somehow it resonates, it reflects our elevated identity. Like we know, our soul knows, like, okay, I want to be at the next level. But the path, the strategy, what you have been implementing may or may not be aligned with that. And that exercise will help you right here and right now to step into that elevated version of yourself. Now, if you've been looking for a mentor or a space where you can really have this recalibration in your business, I have a 90-minute session, an hour and a half session, VIP recalibration session available to you right now. Normally, the vast majority of my clients, they got clarity. They got clarity on their next step, on their next move in their business. Some people were able to get clarity to get 24K in one single week. Again, it's not a profit claim. Like I cannot guarantee that, like, hey, after 90-minute session you're gonna make 24K, Because listen, your reality, your destiny, your offer, your business model is different. So I don't know your business model, but this is what people got. People got clarity of their audience. People get clarity on their marketing. People get clarity who they really are, what they really want to build. Because also, like, if you're stepping into entrepreneurship from the place of survival, from the place of trauma, from the broken place, and you are trying to fix and heal yourself as you're building your business, this is a really, really hard job. This is why a lot of the recalibration session is something that helps you to realign with yourself, realign with the elevated version of yourself, and actually decide on the next step, on the most aligned step for you. And with that 90-minute session, I also provide 30 days of integration. I do through DM conversations. We can use voice notes, we can use Voxer, we can use email, whatever is more applicable to you. And because, like, I also realize within that potent 90-minute session, you have the inspiration, you have the clarity, you feel good. But then when the actual works begin, then you have really, really good, like, actual question what you need to do. And this is when I offer the support. The investment for this VIP recalibration session is $555. The link is in the description for this video below. After you finish the payment, you will be able to get access to my calendar and book an appointment with me and book your 90-minute recalibration session with me. All right, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.